the guinea pigs collected. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Bunch of slap-jawed faggots around here.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And happy Monday to you. We are joined by our fellow from the north. We got Steve with us. What's going on, Steve?
Hi, nothing much. Just doing homework for Trina's stream on Wednesday. Horror movie double review. Dead Snow 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Guys, be sure to check it out on Trina's stream. She renamed it again, so now it's Trina Real Horror. If she renames it one more time, me and her are going to have words, because you know what? I'm supposed to re-edit some of her stuff, and I'm going to add her to a couple of the intros, like the collectible pass, because it's going to be 3 guineas now instead of 2 guinea pigs. But yeah, you know what? We have a lot of fun in there talking about a lot of these B-rated horror movies and some of the actual more mainstream horror movies, and having some pretty wild discussions about it. Last week we did Gremlins 1 and 2, which was a lot of fun. I'd actually picked those movies. I enjoy those movies tremendously. And God, what a fun discussion. But this is your suggestion this coming Wednesday with Dead Snow.
It wasn't a suggestion, though. I just told you, watch Dead Snow 1 and 2.
It was an order.
Yeah, that was what it was. But, you know, I have to sometimes try to represent the little country I live in, you know. There's some good things coming out of Norway, and hopefully people will like Dead Snow 1 and 2. I mean, it's a Nazi zombie movie. What's not to like?
Right. Real quick, let's say hi to some of the people in the chat. We got Curtis YZ in the house. What's up, Curtis, man? I hope that you were doing good. Yeah, I know. Bad spelling on this thing. You know, I get a little bit of like freeze framing whenever I go to type on the StreamYard end of things, and by the time I see the mistake, it's already too late because I've hit entered. Sean Estep is in the house. What's up, Sean? I hope that you were doing well. Curtis saying happy Monday. What's up, Parrothead? Good to see you guys. I didn't even share links out to this one. I just wanted to do a little quick fun live stream just to hang out and see how many people show up. Let's see how much YouTube really hates me. It's always a game with them, you know, like how much they can suppress the channel. Like every time I figure out a way to beat YouTube's algorithm, whether, you know, mostly it's been from doing shorts. So at first it was like I was uploading like a mediocre amount of shorts, and all of a sudden I was getting suppressed to the point that nothing was getting viewed. So then I started upping the ante, and then I was adding, you know, anywhere from 7 to 13 shorts. And that was working for a number of weeks. Then all of a sudden I was getting suppressed and I was getting no views once again on all these damn shorts. I really wasn't changing the type of shorts I was putting up. It was the same type of shorts every single day. But for some reason, one day it was just like there was nothing. So then I upped the ante again, and then I was posting up to 21 shorts in a day. And then I was breaking the algorithm again. But then all of a sudden 21 wasn't good enough. So then I scaled it all the way back down to 1 to 3 videos in a day. And then the next day I would do 7. And I keep doing this up and down game to try to get past the algorithm. But even then, sometimes it doesn't always work. It's ridiculous what they do. They make you jump through all these damn hoops to try to even just get noticed on YouTube anymore. And plus they have this automatic thing, even with shorts and videos, where after a certain amount of hours, it's technically already shadow banned. So unless somebody stumbles on it by accident or somebody actually goes looking for it, they're never going to see it pop up in their feed.
I'm glad I never did a YouTube channel.
Oh, well, you had a mini channel going there for a while.
Yeah, a little mini thing, peer pressured channel, but I never really tried, to do anything. So I think I saved myself a lot of stress.
Yeah, you know what? There is a lot of stress involved in it. A lot of the people that have been around doing YouTube for a while will tell you, like, it does become stressful, especially if you're doing it day in and day out and on all those different live streams. It does become a bit much.
It's not just that. A friend of mine who did YouTube for a few years, he hit it big right off the bat with some really good videos and got a hell of a lot of views. But he stressed himself out so bad he had to quit because he was overthinking, and he was worried about the next one not getting in as many views, and he was basically pouring pressure on himself, and he had to quit because it was affecting him negatively, right?
Yeah, I know how that is. Real quick, guys, I'm going to put the link, so if anybody wants to stop in and talk about anything and just hang out with us for a while, I don't care. Today's a complete open forum day, so feel free to jump in if you want to. What's going on? King of Squibs, good to see you. Curtis says, I just got off early today randomly, so I lucked out being able to be here. Yeah, cool, man. It's always good to see you, man. Curtis,
I haven't seen,
I never get
Curtis
tired.
in a while.
I know. Well, Curtis has been pretty busy. He'd gotten a new job, and he's like out in a different part of where he was before, a different part of the country. And but Curtis was one of the first guys that actually stopped by my channel early on and kept saying, "You should keep going with this. You're going to be able to do a lot better than what you're doing right now. You just not getting noticed." And I was like, hey, I'm just here to have fun, but I really did appreciate all the motivation that Curtis gave. So
yeah, I remember Curtis from way back. Back in probably 2019 or something. It was in the chat of all kinds of streams.
No, Curtis, yeah, I finally got to my doing it for fun mode. I don't care anymore, and they're all lazy as fuck vids. You know what, Curtis? I've done that myself a couple times to some of the vids that I've done. Sometimes I put a lot of thought into the vids, and I try to do a little bit of editing, at least as much as I can. Sometimes if they're shorts, and I try to make them as entertaining as possible. Sometimes those vids get absolutely no views whatsoever. Yet I can do a short vid showing toys in a toy aisle in Target, and that thing will hit over 1,000 some odd views. And I just left scratching my head. Like, here I did an in-depth, detailed review of this figure, and nobody gave a rat's ass. And a lot of time it's a popular brand. It's a popular franchise, and maybe even a popular character, and it just gets nothing. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to me sometimes.
Well, maybe people are just busy and they miss it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a whole bunch of things. What's going on, Trina? You're always welcome to stop into if you want. I know you're probably busy. You're getting worn out like the rest of us. But yeah, we had a 3-hour extravaganza last night and had a lot of fun over on Vinny's Sunday roundtable stream.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh no, that was loads of fun. I know manliness and motivation that said something, and everybody was saying, "Oh, bad timing." Manliness. If you're listening to this, I know you got a good sense of humor. Hopefully you didn't take that the wrong way. It was a joke, buddy. If you did get offended by it, my bad. That's not what it was meant. It was meant to put a smile on your face because it was ridiculous. So kind of is what it is sometimes. What's going on, Jens? The link's in the chat. If you see it, you can stop in. Open forum, buddy. Open forum. But one of the things that, of course, I've been doing a lot of lately is I've been doing the battle bots because they're just tons of fun. So I did have a few fights that were requested fights, and unfortunately, one of the battle bots that I'd spent a lot of time, probably like a month working on this damn bot, it broke. It broke it through my own stupidity of dropping it. And I dropped it in such a way that it actually hit the weapon and broke.
Curious.
Well, it was the scrapper bot. Jens is joining. What up, Jens?
Yeah.
Hi.
All right. Yeah.
But I lucked out. So one of the things that I do is I buy a lot of used lots of these battle bots. So At first, I couldn't seem to find another beta model that was working correctly. I was like, oh, God, I'm going to have to take these things all apart and figure out what's wrong with them. I got lucked out, and I looked through my eBay search history and seen all the ones I did purchase and found another one. So I was able to put another Scrapper bot together. So, yeah, we got Scrapper, we got Grindhouse, we got Maul, we got War Pig, we got Hell on Wheels sitting over there. And then all the rest of them, Spartan, the Warrior, Junkyard, Nephilim, and then all these other bots that I have sitting here are all the ones that I do all my battles with. And I actually do have a couple more that I'm already starting to work on for custom box to expand the amount of bots that I'll be able to put in the arena. One of the things that I am going to be doing is I am going to wind up holding a bigger tournament. So I want to try to get up to whatever it is. I need a certain amount of bots, whether it's like 32 or something like that. I need to have a certain amount of bots that I can actually have a full-size tournament. And I actually want to bring some people in. I had some people that offered to do commentary, like, full-on bot commentary for me, so I don't have to do it myself, and I can actually focus on the battle instead of trying to do commentary on the mic and do the battle. And ETEP, Tony, I know, Steve, you said you would be there for it. Trina says that she would like to be part of it. So going to be able to have like
for what now?
For the battle bots live.
Oh yeah. I'm not doing the commentary though.
No, you can hang out and you could say nice little quips. But yeah, like all these guys that I already have, and there's going to be a few more that I'm going to get working on and try to get them finished so I can get that tournament going. I'm thinking I'm probably looking at, if not the end of this month, the beginning of next month, we'll start a tournament, and it'll probably run for a few weeks. So a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in a row, it's going to be nothing but BattleBot live on my channel for the Monday streams. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got an army going there, aren't you? With the
man.
Yeah.
But the things aren't cheap either. Like each one of these things on average costs about $30 a bot. So even when I'm buying them used in the lots, they're still running a bit of money where it becomes expensive, especially when I'm doing all the customizations. So every time one of these bots goes down, it really just gets me all pissed off, and I get fired up. God damn, there goes more money down the drain.
yeah, but that's the thing with battle bots, isn't it? Like, I remember on the program, they did like the big ones and that. There was people like nearly crying because they spent so much time and money on a robot that they knew that the robot they was going against was going to smash it to pieces. And there was so much pulled out. They were like, no. Or they'd fake like a what do you call it? A malfunction. And so if it was malfunctioning, they won't put it through the next round. So
yeah.
Yeah,
well, I mean, they spend on average. I think it's like it's like anywhere from a few $100,000 or to sometimes more on some of those bots. Like they get really expensive. So I mean, even these for somebody like me. Look, I am not swimming in money, so even $30 a bot, it starts to actually take a toll on me, especially with all the other stupid shit that I collect. And then let's not even talk about how much food that the guinea pigs eat, because they're killing me. Real quick before we continue. Hey, what's going on, Soul Assassin? The guinea pig transformer chop shop. If you can't find a part here, it doesn't exist, right? Papa Cotton's in the house. What's up, Papa? Yeah, Draven just went live. Yeah, I know. I mean, he always sends me the link out for these things when he knows I usually do a Monday stream. So it is what it is. Guys, he's doing AEW wrestling. I mean, if you're into AEW wrestling, or no, he's doing it's not AEW today. It's actually oh Jesus, what's the other one? Ring of Honor. He's doing Ring of Honor today. So if you guys are into that, be sure to stop by and give Draven a view, man. He could use the views over there. I know he can. He's doing some really good stuff with the pushing the wrestling that he's enjoying with a good panel of people. And sometimes I could be there, sometimes I can't. It just kind of is what it is. But yeah, I mean, getting back to these BattleBot things, like, yeah, I mean, even at $30 a bot, especially when something goes wrong, and if I can't readily fix it, I usually have no less than 2 of every bot. So I have a backup just in case the first one goes down. So while I'm working on the first one, I have another one that I could run for fights.
Yeah, like in like stunt cars and all that, they always have a reserve, don't they? Like Evil Knievel, they always have like a reserve bike or whatever, so just in case there was problems. was to get the other bike.
Well, that's one of the things I like about doing the customizations on some of these what they're called build-a-bots. Because for the most part, I really don't have to do a whole lot with those things because a lot of them are just like pop-on pieces. So some of them I can get away with not even have to change the main body of the bot. All I have to do is snap all the parts of the other bot onto it if something goes wrong with the original one. Now, a few of them where it's like total customization, like here, I'm going to have to turn the light back on to show it. But when there are total customizations and I spend so much time painting them, like let's say that goldish, bronze colored Spartan one, that whole bot is literally had to be taken apart and then spray painted parts individually to create that. So I don't have a backup of that one. So if something ever malfunctions and goes wrong with that, I'm pretty much having to create the whole bot over again from scratch because I don't know enough about the electronics in there and whether or not I would screw them up to actually start taking the electronics out and put new electronics in it. And I have a few bots like that where they're like totally painted, like, Grindhouse is another one. Maul is another one where it's like total custom painted job. And so's Warpig. But Scrapper is just a base model. The only thing I'd have to change on him is the lifter arm. Just paint the lifter arm and put the plow on the front of him. And that's what I did with that one. So.
Yeah. Well, some of them, you say like, just easy and simple, but if you're customizing it, though, that's where the time and money gets spent, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, some of the customizations I'm doing on things, some of them are small detailed work that you might not even notice during the fight because I'm adding stupid thing like on the Spartan one, I put 300 botics. Like all the battle bots have some kind of company like Vex or some other company that they're sponsoring them. So, it was, I forget what it was, something robotics or something like that was on the original Bronco model, but I put 300 botics just to kind of like a joke. Okay, it's 300 botics that built this one. Or Guinea Pig collective electronics on the back of Maul. Just dumb things like that I add. So it takes a lot of time. And then not only the paint jobs, adding the small details like that, but then putting like top coats on them. Like a clear coating over top them, so hopefully the paint just doesn't get ripped right off of the damn thing. What's going on Apex Comics? And what's going on Rocco? So many YouTubers have gone downhill fast. Some have gone woke or full crazy. Yeah. And you're going to probably see more and more of that as these people expose themselves.
I might go woke. I might start like drinking Bud Light for view.
Jesus.
Hey, look, I'm being honest. I'm not saying I will do it, but if I'm going to have like £1 million contracts from I forget the company's name, but Budweiser's makers, I'll do it. I'll be like, hey, guess what?
So you're gonna go on camera wearing a dress, going to call yourself Jensika?
Well, that'd be day 163. But well, what's wrong?
Apex Comics said Jens go woke. That's science fiction.
Well,
Jens will go from saying that soy is fuck to I'm soy as fuck.
Yeah. Well, it'll be like fucking Wonder Woman, fucking Black Widow. I fucking love them.
Black Widow wasn't soy enough. We need more.
Yeah. Well, I just loved on Black Widow where the dude, Taskmaster, was a dude all the way through. And this is how dumb the thought, like, people who want to go see Black Widow was. It's like, oh, yeah, we can change it to a woman, and they won't notice. They won't know the difference between a male.
I noticed.
Yeah.
That was a male stuntman.
Oh, yeah. Everyone noticed that, I think, wasn't it? Because the neck, they said she looked more like a space marine.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Well, some of that movie was filmed in my area, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Because some of it takes place in Norway.
Yeah. Because it was like sort of a Russian sort of base, wasn't it? Sort of thing where it was all snow, sort of thing. So yeah, obviously they wouldn't have filmed in Russia because Russians would have been like,
it was early on when you went to a store and stuff like that. That's not too far from where I am.
All right. I didn't see it, but yeah, I saw the bit where it was like all ice and snow, wasn't it? Because it was like bit like chilly something, but they had leathers on, and so he was like, oh yeah.
You guys see this? Rorschach, he was just nomming a minute ago. He's taking a siesta. He's taking a nap right now, and he was nomming in his sleep. Never stops. Let's see some of the comments. Rocco, some of them are wolves in sheep's clothing, pretending to be anti-SJW only to expose themselves. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of them out there.
All you have to do is go back a few years and watch their streams and how they're ranting about fighting the culture war and blah, 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 and look at what they're doing now. It's the opposite.
Usually it's the ones that are screaming the loudest.
Usually it happens after they're monetized.
Yeah, well, that is it. The thing, though, isn't it? With monetization, you start like going against YouTube's algorithm, and yeah, you'll get all your advertising took off. Yeah, like, oh no, we can't advertise Bud Light on your channel. You're an anti drag queen performer with kids.
You're a turf. You're a turf.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm afraid Bud Light drinkers aren't watching TARF channels.
Soul says, watch woke Jens is more understandable when talking.
Yeah,
at least a lot of YouTubers are watching the woke shit, so I don't have to though.
Yeah.
Who asked him to?
Yeah, but that's like saying, someone's eating shit pies, so you don't have to. It's like there's a certain level of shitness where you're like, I know that's going to be shit. It's like if someone was eating something where it had a little bit of shit in, you'd be thinking, well, can you really taste that diarrhea when you're chomping down on it? But if it's just full crammed fucking dog shit in it, the first bite you're gonna puke. So yeah, the certain shitness where you're like, no. It's like watching a snuff movie. You're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be bad, but let's see how bad it is. Like, no.
Some people are just gluttons for punishment. Yeah, Papa Cotton, I think Mecca called me a stalker and a bad editor on Twitter today. Does anybody even listen to her anymore? I don't pay attention. I don't pay attention to anything that freaking bat crazy weird cat lady says. I've always felt that she was a little bit out there. Yeah, like right there you go. Mecca's SJW for sure. I know she is. And she said some of the most ridiculously nauseating fucking things out there possible. And then there's still people flocking to her for some reason. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Something that Jens would never say. Now, Rocco says CJH is starting to be a sellout too, to be honest, which is surprising considering how much I've seen him in this chat. No, shots fired. Now, I'm not subscribed to her, and I don't edit anything. I know you don't, Papa. What's up, Lurch Troll, man? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Oh, man. Hey, you know what? It really is becoming difficult in the sea of ridiculousness on YouTube anymore to find anything entertaining. I've actually gotten to the point where I'm actually going and watching some of these gun channels just to find something that is not going to be infused with a lot of politics garbage or my stance on this company, why I go out and buy a bucket of popcorn and be the first in line to watch it in the theater. It's gotten to that point. I've gone out of my way looking at other things to do as far as watching stuff on YouTube, and I'm watching guys that are building dioramas, and it's giving me really good ideas for some of the toy reviews I do, like some of the extra background element that I could add to some of my toy reviews with some of the dioramas. And some of these guys, wow, I've gotten some really good ideas from them. So I got a winter diorama that I'm building right now. It's going to be for some of the Gremlins figures. That should be pretty cool.
I still think you should do like a bunch of crosses and have dead frogs attached to them around the arena, so it looks like they're crucified in front of the gladiator arena.
Yeah, be like fucking the frog version of gladiators.
Yes. See, he agrees with me, Tommy. It's 2 versus 1.
No, there will be no frogs. I don't like frogs.
Birds, then.
Cricket. There's going to be a lot of crickets.
Yeah, anything. Right, splatter it with blood and then just have it.
In fact, with crickets, if you tie them up right, you don't really have to kill them. They can just be like little puppets, just tie little strings, and you can get them like clapping and waving and cheering.
Yeah, there you go. Or you could just put them somewhere and electrify them to get them to move, so it looks like they're cheering.
Oh yeah, that's
woke is just a virus. I would say it's a little bit more than just a virus. It's more like a fad. I mean, quite honestly, it's become a fad for these people, just like the transgender shit. It's a fad.
Yeah. You know what's gone away? Kind of anorexia and the goths and the people believing they're vampires. It's just now it's trans.
Well, Draven is keeping the whole vampire thing alive.
Yeah, he's an actual vampire though, so he doesn't count. I saw a painting of him from the 1600s, so he is legit.
Yeah, and at least when you're a vampire, you're getting your B12 vitamin. So
yeah.
Parrothead has a question for everybody. So marry, fuck, or kill Mecca, AOC, and Grace.
I don't know who Grace is.
No, I don't.
Grace Randolph, I'm assuming.
Oh.
I still don't know who Grace Randolph is. And who's AOC? Oh, AOC. Oh, well, definitely I'd be fucking AOC all over.
I would marry her because she's probably has the most money.
That's the fuck. I'll probably because I probably won't care though, because I don't know who Grace is. Grace who?
Grace Randolph. She's the one that she's a Disney show.
Oh right. Oh yeah, I know what you mean now. Well, yeah. Well, I guess it's a toss up. I'd just toss up between who I'd kill and marry in that situation with Mecca. Yeah. I guess if I was married to Mecca, I'd be able to play a fucking it's a fucking thingy guitar. Well, not
So Indian... you want to marry her to torture her for life?
No, Mecca random. She's got this guitar, but it's a sitar guitar because it's like a guitar, but it's got springs on, so it sounds like a sitar.
So you would marry her for the guitar?
Yeah, and probably with it being married, I'd probably get a few more fucking views in that one night, because I'd be sort of like getting her to fucking send fucking viewers across, even though she ain't getting that many nowadays. But still, you can't complain. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, I'd kill the shill anyway at Disney. Oh, fucking one. I'd kill her even if she was worth fucking. Because, she fucking ruined Mandalorian season 3, the bitch. Even though it might be a strong sort of accusation I'm putting across there, but probably she had something to do with it.
No, I'll tell you what, there would be no way that I would marry either Mecca or Grace. So I guess that would have to leave AOC, because then at least I'd get her money. Because I can't deal with Mecca Random. Her voice is grating, and it just her whole mannerism just makes me want to puke. And Grace Randolph with that cock eye and that man jaw, I couldn't take looking at that every day of the week. Troll, I love the Gun Channel. Always did. Yeah.
Yeah, but which one are you fucking then? No, because if you're marrying AOC, you've got to fuck Mecca or fucking.
Well, I guess that'd be cockeyed Grace, because there's no way I'm touching Mecca Random with anything other than maybe an axe.
Right, so Mecca gets the.
In Minecraft, we gotta say in Minecraft, or YouTube might get upset. I love action figure dioramas. Yeah, man. There's this guy I'm watching right now called Drip Mode. Holy shit, man. This guy put some killer dioramas together, man. I love that shit.
I've mostly been watching retro gaming documentaries and stuff like that on YouTube. You know, games from my childhood and stuff. Fun to see how they were made.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching and I shared the link on the YouTube page to a sort of short little film that's just been released like a month ago about what happens when you're cooking a soy cunt and you get put in and you put in a FEMA camp. I know they said concentration camp then, but FEMA camp. Yeah.
Did you see this one, Jens?
What's that? Neurotic fans used to attack Jens considerably,
constantly.
And
EBS is an SJW.
No, I don't think he is. Well, that's how I saw.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Look at everything he does. He does everything the way he attacks people. He does it the same way that the so-called woke SJWs do. He does it the exact same way.
Nerdrotics doesn't attack anyone, though, as far as I've seen.
Well, no, he didn't say Nerdrotic. He said the fans.
Oh,
you know how you've seen that whole thing that broke down between Ryan Cannell and Doomcock, and how the fans were going back and forth. Yeah,
when Ryan used the correct pronouns on the Doomcock shells, was that it?
No, he had actually said if you believe everything that's being said, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
If you believe all the rumors, you know, because there were some people that, I mean, that's the problem. Even when somebody makes a disclaimer, and I know Doomcock always makes his disclaimers, but some people in his chat, they don't take it as a rumor. Regardless of what he says, they don't take it as a rumor. They take it as fact.
Yeah.
And they start beating the gongs and yelling.
Panning out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I happen to like Nerdrotics, though. I think he's a good fellow. I had some interactions with him.
I think
I've never had a bad interaction. I've been on a few streams with him, but I mean, I just don't like some of the flip-flop stances that some of the bigger YouTubers take when they sit there and say that this stuff is garbage. Then they sit there and say, "Oh, it's great," and then everybody is saying, "No, it's not." I'm not going to get into that. Luffiest God has the perfect answer. Easy answer. I killed myself. Problem solved. Curtis says Jens is always looking to get ahead. Monetary value. The entire Mandalorian ceases for bud drinkers.
Yeah, well, the fucking thing, didn't they? Had fucking probably Kathleen Kennedy come in there, start screaming, "Fucking this Mandalorian's too masculine. We need a female Mandalorian." So they did. What's the name?
It's all Filoni. Filoni promised he would do this in 2016.
No,
he did a speech in front of feminists promising more Mary Sues, literally.
Yeah, well,
he was honest.
I think he was going to have Cara Dune as a fucking more female representation, but she got fingered out, and so they put fucking there's one more episode, but still season 3. But I said though, before Mandalorian season 1 ever got released, I said I think it's going to be good, but it's not going to be good for that long, because that's what they do. They see someone's popular, they know, oh yeah, now we can start fucking around with it, because they can't start projects, they can only ruin them. And so I know, after about 3 seasons, it'd get infected. He's not strong enough. Filoni should have been like, fuck you guys and all that, and just left. And because I think he is leaving, isn't he? And he'll probably go somewhere else. And I think might be going to DC or something. Doing
now, you know what? Filoni can go back into mediocrity where he belongs. He's a piece of garbage. He always has been. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like that 90% of that Clone Wars shit was just that. It was shit.
Well, it wasn't just that. He caused Karen Traviss to quit, the one who wrote all the Mandalorian lore back in the day, because Filoni retconned all of it and fucked it up. And then later on in the Mandalorian, he includes the Mandalorian language, right? And takes credit for it. That was her work. He just took credit for it.
Well, we don't know if it was their work. I've never heard of it. But anyway, even if he did take all that work, at least he did masculine action. And when he was doing masculine action, everything was all right. People was watching. People was like, yeah, we can have your odd female. But once the female action got too much, it was like, no.
Well, the Mandalorian needs saving in every damn episode. He's incompetent.
Yeah. Well, in season 3, it is, but like season 1 and 2, apart from getting saved by Luke Skywalker at the end of season 2, Mandalorian was kicking ass. But they've gone into where they know there's soy cunts out there watching Mandalorian now, and so they're like, oh yeah, well, we can soy it. When they only thought people who was like masculine and wanting a masculine Mandalorian kicking ass and that they knew they couldn't mess around with it, because if they fucking messed around with it, but they thought they had enough soy cunts who'd be like, oh yeah, I don't mind a female fucking Mandalorian. What was it? Bo-Katan or whatever her name is. Oh yeah, I'll go out and buy the Bo-Katan figure. That's what they was thinking, and it's like, yeah.
I think Papa Cotton summed it up the best. Filoni is a huge sissy.
Yeah. And it's most likely a furry. Dave Filoni was the one who came up with what happened with Luke and Leia in the sequel trilogy. He was the one. He said he wanted the matriarchy to return to Star Wars.
I think you're getting that confused with Kathleen Kennedy. Because
no,
I don't think
I have a screenshot from an official Lucasfilm book called The Art of the Sequel Trilogy, and it has an excerpt from the planning meeting where they planned the sequel trilogy. Dave Filoni says he wants the matriarchy to be returned to Star Wars.
All right, hold on real quick. Freeze. All right, George Lucas, since you mentioned him, he's in the chat. What's up, George? Vizchozo's also in the house. What's going on? Spark Flash Century also in the house. Dinja Jarin has become a Beskar turtle. We also got Time Prophet in the house. What's up, Time Prophet? He also says, are you going to put Jens Petter in the microwave? Well, we're going to try not to. Luffy is God also is in the house. Bo-Katan is the leader of the Mandos in the cartoon show, and Filoni created her. Saw this coming. Yeah, I know there were some other comments that back and forth about Nerdrotic and Doomcock. Once again, it's not that I have big problems, other than a few problems maybe I've had with a few of these bigger individuals on Twitter with their really bad takes. But other than that, I don't really have too much of a problem. I'm just not interested in what they're talking about, because they kind of go back on everything they say initially. And I just don't like that. Look, man, you're going to say something, you're going to believe something, stick by it. And if you can't stick by it, say that in the very beginning that, my opinion's probably going to change in a few years down the road when I think I can get a few more people watching. Yeah. Real quick, before it gets too buried in the chat, Jens, do you like or own any guns? Yeah, I have a bunch. I have a bunch of them. Black powder. I got regular ammunition type weapons. I've got some BB guns, including my Red Ryder BB gun, which I finally acquired. So yeah, I do have a few guns. I think I did a couple of videos on the BB guns themselves, and that's about it. Go ahead,
and I would say I've got 2 guns that I use to lift weights with, as in my arms. Because, as I say, in England, you get 5 to 10 years for owning like a fucking illegal firearm. So, like, fuck that. That's why there's a lot of knife crime, and you have to sort of like know some fucking Steven Seagal fucking moves. So, yeah, a bit different.
Yeah, if only too. Tartovsky, if he had it instead of Filoni.
Yeah, but whoever has it, unless it was me, no one's got the balls to be like, fuck you, this fucking female shit, I'm not having it. I'll have one, you can have one token female in it, and the rest is masculine action. No one's going to say that. And that's what you need to say, because then they know, oh yeah, right, so we've got one, we can't put any more in, because if we put any more in, it's going to be girly ass fucking She-Ra. So let's just stick one fucking girl in and keep it to one. Any more than one girl, you're like, oh no.
Bo-Katan is actually the same age as Obi-Wan as well. She's actually close to 70 in The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, she looks good for a 70-year-old, doesn't she?
Yeah.
In The Mandalorian, I thought Mandalorian was going to bang her all over. I thought it'd be like, oh yeah, fuck it. You want the dark saber? Yeah, come over here and get it. Come on. You know you want it. But no.
Nice time profit. Time profit. I have a Walter PP-88 air gun. BB guns strangely more strict on licensing than air guns. Huh. Apex Comic wants a laser gun. I've seen people actually trying to work on models of laser guns. It's not going very well. It's not going very well right yet, but they are working on it.
Oh, well, thingy, the do like an electric gun, like where it's magnets and it fires like whatever steel sort of projectile you want.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, what do they call those ones? Kinetic, they call them kinetic guns.
Yeah. I think they might be legal in the UK, but you probably would have to go to like some kind of firing range or somewhere safe, to use it. But they look good though, because the coins that there was firing, there was like blunt. But if you sharpened these coins to be like fucking like ninja Death Stars and that, yeah, fuck, people look real bad. Especially if you got them right in the eye.
Yeah.
And it was like an automatic and all, so you could like definitely. It was fully automatic and all, so you could dish about 30 of them.
Andor, the show, is actually the third time they have attached the dish to the Death Star. Because it was already on in Revenge of the Sith. And then they put it on in Rogue One, and then they put it on in Andor again. I guess the thing won't stay on.
Keeps falling off. Well, that's what happens when you put 3M stickers on the back of it to hold it on.
Andor had that basically lightsaber thing on the ship. The Andor used it. I mean, if they had that, why didn't they use it in episode 4? Because that could have taken care of the turrets in the Death Star trench, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the problem when you retroactively add technology, because you'll fuck up the other stuff that comes after in the timeline, right?
Yeah, but
why
they were
use this or that, or kind of like the tracking fobs in Mandalorian. They could have used that to find Luke in the sequel trilogy, right? And all the rebels.
Well, I didn't see any of the prequels, so I got ready. But they're hoping that people won't remember. They're hoping that you'll just, oh yeah, that's how it goes. Like if it's like fucking, don't even like new music. They want it like pop music, where you're like, oh, I'm not bothered about last year's hits. That was so like 2022. You know, the one you said a bit me like that, where you're like, oh, I don't care if Rey's the best Palpatine ever, because who cares about the 1970s and 80s?
No.
Now, I hear you, Curtis. I mean, like I always say, you like what you like. I personally, I cannot get behind anything Disney does. Disney is a shit company who shits on its fans, and I want nothing to do with anything they're doing. What's going on, Keck?
He's not necessarily wrong, because you can have an isolated story that's well written.
Right.
But the problem with this is almost uniquely Star Wars, right? Because everything's connected. So stuff established in Andor, it's established in everything, because it's one big thing. It's one continuity, or it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. The wanting it to be like a fucking big, massive expansion of the Star Wars universe, isn't it?
Yeah. So when they made Darth Vader retarded in Rebels and the Kenobi show,
what about Rogue One? They made him look like he had Alzheimer's because he forgot that he was chasing a disc. And now all of a sudden, when you get to episode 4, he's talking about transmissions that were beamed to the ship instead.
Yeah, there were no transmission beamed aboard Leia's ship. There was a floppy disk being carried. He was right behind it.
Yeah, and he's scared.
So basically, it's now canon that in Disney canon that Darth Vader is retarded, and so is Kenobi.
And he's scared of fire, which makes sense that in the sequels, no one ever thought, oh yeah, let's just get a flamethrower. You know Darth Vader's gonna shit it.
all you need is a freaking stick with some fire, and you can chase him around like Frankenstein at that point. Here goes one that Stieg and I have talked about a few times. Luffy as God points out, don't need no Death Star laser when you can now light speed through ships.
Yeah, they can basically have take a ship, a bigger one, and have a droid pilot it and have it hyperspace into the Death Star. That it wouldn't destroy it, but it would disable it. They can just do it over and over again.
Oh well, if you hit it at a certain point, it would destroy it.
Yeah, if you hit it at a certain point, then maybe. But and this is how they can solve every damn space battle too. If you want to take down a Star Destroyer, just have a cheap ship with a cheap droid in it, hyperspace into the Star Destroyer. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, Soul Assassin, Star Wars isn't about good or evil, just what side you're on. Rocco said they're welcome to it. Papa agrees. They don't trust it. I mean, I know a lot of good people. Curtis YZ, he's a really good guy. I mean, if he likes it, he likes it. I'm not going to shit on him for like it. I just don't, like I said, I don't trust Disney. I don't trust anything they're doing. But I mean, if you like it, good for you. I'm glad you like it. But I mean, you got to realize what a shit company Disney is, and what they're doing is part of the bigger problem that we're seeing in the entire world. They're part of that puzzle of what's wrong with society today.
Yeah, and if Andor is canon, that means Rogue One is canon, which means episode 1 through 6 no longer makes sense. Because in Andor, they make hyperspace jumps within the gravity of a planet, which is impossible, which is, if it was possible, the blockade of Naboo would never work, nor would the escape from Hoth or Han Solo fleeing Mos Eisley, because you have to get into space and then make a hyperspace jump to get out of the gravity. In Rogue One, they ignore that. So if Rogue One is canon, then everyone on Naboo, the Trade Federation, the whole Republic, and Qui-Gon and Kenobi are retarded. Because they could have made a hyperspace jump just a few hundred yards above the planet's surface and gotten away, which means they would also never have found Anakin. So the whole story collapses because of
in part 4 too. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the Death Star. They don't even have to sacrifice all those ships. Just send a big ship right in there, light speed right into the desert. Boom, done. Yeah. Time Prophet says, I want them to put David Prowse's voice back in Star Wars. He had a Bristol accent to explain Darth Vader losing. Apex Comic. Yeah, I didn't see that on my StreamYard end if you'd put that in earlier. So, unfortunately, not everything comes through on StreamYards, and I can't have StreamYards and the YouTube page open at the same time. But he says, He would fuck AOC, marry Grace, and kill Mecca in Minecraft.
Well, yeah, but if you're marrying her, though, fucking, it means you're gonna have to like be a part of the Disney sort of like underarchy. You're probably gonna have to like do some stuff to get to marry who's in Disney.
Yeah, I think most of us know that Time Prophet, David Prowse. Yeah, I remember seeing some of the early takes of it where they were doing his voice, and it just didn't sound menacing enough. He did a Clockwork Orange too. I like bringing that one up. He was the bodybuilder guy in the in Clockwork Orange from one of the guys.
He sounded like a bouncer when he did the Vader voice.
Yeah,
and in the UK and all, it was the Green Cross Code man, which was basically a dude who would stop kids from running across the road. You know, he'd be like, "Hey, stop, look and listen," and all this shit. And because Dave Prowse is a big cunt, the kids didn't say shit to him. And he was dressed up in like a fucking latex fucking super outfit. Still didn't take the piss.
Yeah, Rocco. Yeah, the only thing that Disney has control of is anything with the special edition stuff. Lucas actually has the original Star Wars movies, the unedited versions. He has them locked down. Nobody can touch them.
Well, they're not They're not touching the old trilogy and stuff like that. They're basically editing everything around it to alter the story of the old trilogy that way.
Well, I thought they did another re-edited version of A New Hope where they added that stupid McClunky thing in.
Yeah, that's for the... Is it for the Blu-ray or a 3D or something like that?
Yeah, so that's still a form of editing. So, I mean, they slip little things in here or there, and next thing you know, they're editing the whole damn thing.
Well, I think that wasn't that Lucas's idea?
Yeah.
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah,
Soon,
and he added a no thing at the end of Return of the Jedi, too.
Yeah, soon, later, probably more than soon, but it'll be Princess Leia taking down the Death Star. She'll be the one getting trained by.
You know what? They've in Disney canon, they've actually altered that too. In novels and comics, they're all saying that the real hero behind the Death Star being destroyed is Jyn Erso, not Luke. Luke just fired the shot. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So that is in Disney canon now. He just fired the shot. It didn't do anything special. It was all Jyn Erso. And that is canon.
Well, I don't read any like stuff that's being made sort of thing, especially these recent times. Because you say like they'll just want women to be like the full sort of like squad crew now. It'll be Red Barb Leader will be a woman. If everything be women, it'll be like, oh yeah. Men will be like not even casting it because it'll be like, oh yeah, no. Star Wars doesn't have men in it. It's not made for men.
Star Wars is basically Marvel's what is it? The Phase 4?
Yeah, MCU.
Yeah, that's what Star Wars is now. They've turned it into Marvel. Everyone runs into each other, and there's cameos everywhere, and this and that person teams up. And I mean, it looks like Kenobi and Obi-Wan are going to keep fighting over and over again, like, you know, Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. You know?
Yeah. Well,
Time Prophet says. Time Prophet says I would pay to see Jens Petter dub over Darth Vader's lines of Kenobi. It would be brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll try and do that, but it means.
Yeah, I hear you, Rocco. I hear you. Go ahead, Jens.
Yeah, it made me having to watch the bits, but he's only in it for like 10 minutes, isn't he? I think so.
That would be fun though, with Jens dubbing Vader, and you know when Vader tosses Palpatine over the edge and just goes, "You're not fucking masculine enough."
Yeah,
something like that, and just tosses him over.
I'm a fucking Sith, fucking
yeah.
Yeah, you don't fuck with a Sith, mate. You fucking dumb soy cunt. Ain't no.
Yeah, one of these days, Lurch, I might do an upload with showing off some of the black powder stuff I have because like some of the stuff I brought back from my father's house to add to my black powder collection. There's quite a bit of it. I mean, there's more than just the black powder stuff, but yeah, I mean, I'd probably show off all that stuff first because some of those guns are pretty interesting. He even had like a little 32 black powder Derringer. Hey, what's up, awesome one? Pigs and bacon and pigs and bacon. What the hell? Wrong pigs. I'm laughing because I imagine Vader talking with a northern accent. Wookie, Papa, fucking dark side.
Yeah, when Luke finds out Darth Vader's his father and he's on that sort of fucking pole and he jumps off and Darth Vader just looks and doesn't say out. Well, a Yorkshireman would have been like, "Oh, you fucking daft cunts." You can see there's no landing there. You're just hoping now, aren't you? You're just hoping for some cushy landing.
I'm trying to remember the name of this movie. I just watched a movie just last night. It had Nicolas Cage in it. I cannot remember the name of this movie, but basically he was in hell, and I'm not sure he had been murdered, and then his daughter, who had a baby, the daughter got murdered, and then the baby's taken by this guy who's like a cult leader. And the cult leader is going to sacrifice the child because they think that they're going to get extra powers from Satan or something like that. So Nicolas Cage escapes hell to go stop the baby, which would be his granddaughter, from being murdered. And there's an agent from hell that's chasing him down, trying to get to him. Really weird movie. I'd never heard of it before. I just happened to stumble across it last night when I was on HBO Max. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Awesome one. He said he's seen it. Drive Angry. There it is. Yeah, Luffy is God. Soul Assassin. Yep. Drive Angry. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh yeah, because it's got thingy. I forget the dude's name, but he's a bit like a Terminator who's after him, and he's trying to get him back to hell.
Yep.
Yeah, it was done about 10 years ago. Yeah, sort of thing, 15, 10 years ago. Yeah. Now, when you said, "Oh yeah, fucking," he's drive angry in that because he's in a car, isn't he, all the time, sort of thing, nearly, and he's driving angry.
Yeah,
because he's yeah. Well, that reminded me. Yeah, I have seen because it is a sort of a supernatural sort of tale that is set in downtown Manhattan or wherever, you know.
Yeah, he calls himself an accountant. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely an interesting movie. Every once in a while, and I hear you, Curtis. Yeah, I'd never heard of it myself either. Yeah, Amber Turd was in it. Yeah, but I thought the movie itself was actually really good, and it was surprising from something that I'd never heard of before. I mean, every once in a while, these movies comes out and they just kind of stumble through theaters, or maybe they don't even make it to theaters, and they go direct to physical media back in the day. So you may have never even heard of it. And when I stumbled across this one, I was like, I don't know, I never heard of it. I'll give it a look anyway. And I was actually surprised how good it was. It was quite entertaining. Like the fact that he's already dead. So even though he takes a shot to the head, all the injury winds up healing all the way into the end of when he gets his revenge. And, he goes back to hell with the accountant.
Yeah, because I forget that the dude who plays the sort of Terminator dude who's after him, but yeah, he plays a good part in it at all. Because it's an action, all out action sort of film, but tries to make it a little bit more serious sort of thing, where getting like a storyline, sort of like with sort of feelings and that, not just crazy out all ass out action, where they try and get like a bit of a sort of like good and evil sort of.
Yes, Lurch Troll Drive Angry. Like I said, I found it on HBO Max. I don't know if it's anywhere else. My first suggestion is always check Tubi for free if you don't have HBO Max, or any of the other sites might have it. So yeah. Oh, you seen that one? Yeah, good movie. I like that one. I enjoyed it. You know what? At first, it almost felt like that's probably what the Ghost Rider movie should have been. At first, that's what I was getting at. Like, early parts of that movie, I was getting like the Ghost Rider vibes, and like, God, if only Ghost Rider was as good. I hated that Ghost Rider movie, and I hated the freaking sequel, Spirits of Vengeance. I thought they were just horrendously bad.
I didn't mind them, but like, I'm not a big Ghost Rider sort of person, so like the Ghost Rider, I knew it was more of a Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider than a Ghost Rider film. Because if you want like a proper Ghost Rider film, that you've probably got someone who's of a lesser known, or someone who can act a bit more than just, because Nicolas Cage, he is Nicolas Cage in nearly all of his films, and so but I didn't mind it. Like, I thought the action was good in it, and that. And
you know, one of the biggest things again about that movie, and it's not to say that some of the visuals weren't cool in it. The visuals were cool in it. What I hated is the fact that they took two different Ghost Riders and they fused them together to create one Ghost Rider. So they took Johnny Blaze and then they fused him with the Danny Ketch version of the Ghost Rider, and then you have the Nicolas Cage version. That was the thing that I didn't like about it.
Yeah, well, that's why I was thinking, because when I was watching it, like, even though I knew about Ghost Rider, but as I say, I'm not a big Ghost Rider, and so like I didn't really know much about the character, apart from he turns into like a fucking Hell's Angel dude with a flaming skull and beats the shit out of people with bad souls, you know. And so I'd seen a few comic books, but I didn't know him deep enough. But when I watched the film, I thought, oh yeah, well, this is probably in the best fucking Ghost Rider film you could ever do. But as I say, I didn't mind it. Like, I wasn't thinking it was the greatest ever, but it was one of them where I thought, yeah, it did all right. You know, it wasn't like Ghost Rider was like crying himself to sleep at night, fucking, because he's like student had fucking, he had a premonition that his student was going to go bad, like in The Force Awakens or whatever. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, didn't do too bad.
His Ghost Rider killed people with two left feet or just bad souls. Good one time profit. Well, that was one of the other things. I know they kind of had like the penance stare in this one with him too. And once again, that's part of the Danny Ketch version of Ghost Rider. The original Ghost Rider actually shot hellfire from his hands and burned the souls of the evil people. So I mean, there was those elements just kind of took me out, because when I was a kid, I was reading Ghost Rider, because Ghost Rider came out in the 70s. So I remember reading when I was a kid, and I remember it was sometime in the mid to late 80s when they came out with the Danny Ketch version, which was a little bit different. And that's when he winds up getting the chain. He winds up getting more of a sport bike, look to his vehicle. It was a bit different, and that's where you get the spiked shoulder pads on the leather jacket and all that stuff. The original Ghost Rider had basically what was Johnny Blaze's stunt performing outfit, which was just a blue outfit with a light blue, almost like a rectangle type shape in the center of the chest. And that was basically it. And his bike was actually generated from his hands. He created the bike with hellfire.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, when you said about his uniform, I don't remember it being more blue, in the original. But yeah, as I say, I a really big sort of fucking Ghost Rider fan. So like, yeah, there's bits where like, yeah, I thought, yeah, right.
Yeah, and it's like, once again, I'm not completely shitting on the movie saying it's the worst thing ever. I just think it could have been done a lot better. I mean, you could have even kept Nicolas Cage in there, but I think if the writers were paying a little bit more attention to the source material, and this is the same problem that goes with a lot of these franchises now, and I don't care if it's Star Trek, if it's Star Wars, the list can go on and on. Doctor Who, it doesn't matter. Like all these franchises, they don't pay attention to the source material, and they veer so far away from it that it just irritates people to the point that they don't want to watch the shit anymore. And then you start getting the camps of people that really hate this shit and hate to see what these companies are doing. And then, God forbid, if they're putting the woke ideology shit into the damn stuff, it makes you want to watch it even less. And then you get the camps of people that swear it's the best thing since sliced bread. And then 9 times out of 10, you're going to get people that are arguing back and forth and bickering and everything like that. I'm not going to bicker with you. I'm just going to say I don't like it. Or I don't like that company, and I'm just going to move on from there because I won't give those companies any more time than need to be given to them because, you know what? They're going to destroy it to the point they're going to lose money, and you're starting to see that right now with Disney. With everything that they've done, they're losing money everywhere, including their parks. That's why they're laying off so many people. That's, you know, Disney's going to go down in flames. And I know some people say that they're too big to fail. There's no such thing as a company being too big to fail.
Well, from a simple writing standpoint, though, if you're writing fantasy or science fiction, right, the lore and the established rules of that universe, that's the framework that holds the painting together, the painting being the story. If you don't have a solid foundation to build on, right, if you destroy the foundation, everything you try to build on it, it's going to crack and crumble. And that's what we're seeing with all these franchises, because, like you said, they don't stick to the source material. With Star Wars and Disney, the source material is the original trilogy and the prequels, because that was the only thing they didn't decanonize.
Yeah, but what they do, though, as we know, is they fucking just have a story that they want to tell. And it's like, well, no one's going to want to hear that story. And so they just put like Luke Skywalker in and Princess Leia in and that. And then it's like, oh, yeah.
It works.
People, yeah.
I mean, remember when there were a few minutes of CGI Luke in The Mandalorian and everyone screamed, oh, yeah, they fixed Star Wars. It's saved.
Well,
what
yeah,
are the same people saying now? There was excitement.
Yeah, there was a bit.
Dangle the car keys in front of the baby.
Yeah,
remember berries.
Yeah, but that was a nice moment in the fact that it was like, yeah, look, Luke Skywalker is a badass. He's not some fucking loser who just sits in his cave and don't want to go battling. Look, here we go. He's taking out them Dark Knight droids or whatever that was called. I forget what they were called. But
they actually nerfed those. Luke should have been dead.
What?
Luke should have been dead in that scene if they actually stuck to what the Dark Troopers were.
No, they was getting fucked up by the lightsaber.
I know, but one Dark Trooper should have taken out the whole gang because they used to be that powerful. But Filoni nerfed them just to have Luke look good.
Stig was looking at Filoni and saying,
"Are you high?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lurch Troll, yeah, absolutely. No such thing as too big to fail. Look at Sears. You know what? Look at another one that almost went down was Macy's. And if it wasn't for a government bailout, Macy's would be gone too. And there is a huge company right there that's been around for God knows how many years. And they almost went under.
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us is not completely gone, though.
Okay.
KB Toy Stores did completely go under, and so did Kitty City, Lionel. They went under. Radio Shack, which had locations all across the United States and in the UK, they went under. I mean, you're talking about companies that are, they're just not nationwide here in the States. I mean, they were worldwide, and they still failed. So there's no such thing as a company too big to fail.
And if the company does fail, is the employees and head management that'll just change the company's name. I'll just buy out some other company that they'll just do the same to. But back to like Luke Skywalker, at least Filoni made Luke Skywalker fucking a hero in Star Wars.
Dave Filoni was the one who trashed him in the first place. It was his idea to do to Luke what was done in the sequel trilogy.
I think that's Kathleen Kennedy. And
no, I put a link to it in the private chat. It was Filoni.
Okay, well, if you think that, but well, he must have fucking hated his decision and then made Luke into a fucking hero once again. And
no, the only reason why he did it was so he could attach another one of his characters to a Lucas character. That's all he's doing.
Well, he did it though. He did it. He made Luke Skywalker into a man again.
Yeah. Now they're tying it into the sequel trilogy.
That's why I'm not against Filoni, because it's like he tried his best.
No. He tried to be the cuck that he is, and he just tried to destroy everything as much as he could. That guy has no clue what Star Wars is. I mean, matter of fact, is when he was doing the Clone Wars, Lucas specifically said, "Don't do this type stuff." And behind his back, Filoni did it anyway. He's a freaking
he even
snake.
bragged about sneaking stuff by Lucas. When he showed Lucas some episodes, he had cut out the stuff Lucas didn't want. He brags about it in one of the documentaries.
Well, maybe it was a good thing because Lucas seemed to like him when he had Baby Yoda.
They had Lucas show up for a photo op to validate their crap.
Well, it was selling the toys and that, because that's why they're really worried now, aren't they? Because season 3, because Baby Yoda is the only thing that's really selling toys wise for Star Wars.
You know what? I say that's a bit of a myth in a way, because I've gone into Targets and stuff like that, and I've seen those damn stupid Grogu stuffed dolls and everything else just sitting on the shelves week after week collecting dust. I don't really see them moving, so I don't understand where there's this big philosophy that, this is the big seller. I'm not saying that it doesn't sell some. I think it does sell some, but I don't think it sells nowhere near as much as they're trying to pump it up to be.
No. For Disney, I know you're saying like it don't look like they're selling much, but for Disney, it's their best seller. Even though, as you say, like after 2 years, it is sort of like keeping on the shelves now after a 2-year sort of like. But for that 2 years, the toy companies and that must have been like praising fucking Baby Yoda. Must have had like sort of like shrines built to Baby Yoda because that was the only thing that was selling.
Basically, what happened was that Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian shills saved Kathleen Kennedy's job, because the arrow started pointing upwards, and the people who criticized her started praising stuff she put out.
Papa tapped out. Papa, have a good one.
Papa. No, what saved Kathleen Kennedy's job is she's got like the propaganda that she will put female stuff. That's why they're like keeping her, because it's like,
well, Favreau and Filoni are doing the same thing.
Well, I think Filoni and Favreau they'll leave soon. I don't think they'll be happy with what they're pumping out, because they're getting so much interfered with. Kathleen Kennedy.
It's not getting interfered with. Jon Favreau said it last week on a panel. Nobody is interfering with any of the writing whatsoever. His words.
Well, he's not going to say, "Oh yeah, fucking Kathleen Kennedy, the bitch, is always fucking wanting to fuck up me."
No, the only people who started saying that there was interference were grifters lying about a Civil War narrative, which is now destroyed. There was never a Civil War.
Oh yeah, there is.
Real quick here.
Nope, it's debunked.
Do you guys think Dave Filoni just has a fetish for being a sub?
Yeah.
No,
While he's dressed as a
he's
dog.
got a fetish for money. He's got a fetish for money in filmmaking. He revolutionized fucking filmmaking when he did The Mandalorian.
Revolutionized? There was nothing revolutionized about that. He took the same stuff that other people had already been doing.
Yeah.
No, the way he filmed it with the fucking background scenery, sort of like projection, sort of fucking like setup that he had.
No.
Yeah. We're all talking
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Soul Assassin, absolutely. Filoni tried taking credit for creating characters that already existed in the EU. Cyber like Maul.
George Lucas's daughter called him out on camera. Called him out for stealing and taking credit.
There's a big sort of like film sort of review on his filming technique, where it was in that sort of podcast thing where, sort of dome projection cast sort of stage. Do you remember?
Oh,
all right. Actually, Filoni did the LCD screens rather than green screens, so the actors can see the scenes.
Yeah, and it was all like projected, and he got it. So
didn't improve the acting though.
You couldn't tell the background was in the studio because there were some scenes where people thought like, "Oh yeah, you've done that quite well because you must have gone to all these locations to film it." And we were like, "Oh no, we had them like."
Well, that was basically what they did in the 80s. They put some scenes in front of a big cinema screen. You know,
but he revolutionized that technique. He revolutionized that technique by making it more easier and better for the filming and cast.
I don't know.
I personally, I've never played that game myself, Fishozo, so I don't know if anybody else does.
What's that?
City of Heroes.
I don't know what that is.
There's loads of games out now, isn't there? Oh, I always get that pop up of that mafia thing where there's some like lonely punk and he's always getting slapped around or fucking the cops arresting him and that shit. I'm thinking, why would I want to play a mafia boss? That's what it's called. And why would I want to play a game where most of the time I'm being like a little bitch punk fucking getting fucked off? Like, fuck that. I'd rather play golf or something. At least you're fucking yourself over when you're not making par.
Time Prophet says that Andor was filmed in Scotland, yet for some reason Scotland was full of Cockneys. Andor taught me that the space is full of Cockneys from London.
Yeah, hey, they had AK-47s too.
Yeah, but if you remember, Star Wars originally, all of the bad guys mainly were English. Yep. Always had an English accent. Oh yes.
Oh, I have some trivia for you. You know the Imperial officers in episode 5. They are all in Indiana Jones 4, playing the lead Nazis at the Hitler bookboarding thing. One of them plays Goebbels, I think, and the guy who plays General Ozzel plays Hitler. So it's all Imperial officers as the Nazis.
Yeah, you're right, because I forget his name, but the dude who played General Ozzel and Hitler, he used to be in this British sort of kids sort of program called Grange Hill, where he used to play a teacher who was really a prick, Mr. Ronson, I think it was something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of little crossovers between those.
Well, there was a lot of British actors because it was filmed at Palmwood Studios, wasn't it? Star Wars, so and Indiana Jones, I think. So
Yeah, you have the guy who plays Porkins plays one of those top men in Indiana Jones 1. The fat one. That's Porkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the federal agent in the first one, wasn't he? Sitting at the table.
Yeah, the one who talks about the Ark and all that.
He asked him to explain the Ark and what it does.
Yep. He's also in Batman '89. He plays the crooked cop that Jack Nicholson shoots. Guy with the hat. So yeah, Porkins been around.
Now, guys, we are about an hour and 20 in. I do have a few more things that I need to do. Nice little just hang out and chill and talk for a while and hang out with the people in the chat and see what they're saying and what they're up to. And guys, thank you for taking part in this and actually saying some stuff in the chat that was quite amusing. I do appreciate every last one of you stopped in. Time Prophet, Lurch Troll, Fish Chozo. I know Papa was in earlier and got sick of it and left. Soul Assassin, thank you for being here. I know George Lucas had stopped in momentarily. Luffy is God. Curtis YZ, thank you for being in here. Thank you for hanging around my channel for all these years too. Do appreciate it. Luffy is God, awesome one. Who else did we miss? I know I missed somebody else. Rocco, thank you for stopping in. Apex Comics was also in the house. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And to anybody else that I might have missed, Keck44 was in the house also. Almost missed Keck. And anybody else that may have stopped in, and if I did miss you, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take it over to our fine gentlemen, and they're gonna let us know what they got going on.
You know me, but I don't remember smelling you before. Who are you, and where do you come from?
Hi. Not doing anything until Wednesday. No. I'm on Trina's channel on this Wednesday for the movie thing. Dead Snow 1 and 2. Movie review. Nazis, zombies. And then next week I'm on with Mara for the monthly top 10 thing. So that's it.
Awesome. Steve, thanks for being here and bringing your unique perspective as always, my friend. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. And thank you to Jens as well for being good company as always. And the chat.
And matter of fact, we're going to take it over to Jens.
Well, he don't know talking good like me and you, so his vocabularistics is limited.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be releasing a new video on my channel, so called Day 1 of Drinking Bud Light, where I'm going to see if I can do 360 days of drinking Bud Light. No, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Nah, probably not. But I will be doing a video on some films in that because there were some films because there's the Continental, which I saw getting advertised where I don't know much about it apart from I saw the trailer, which is a John Wick sort of spin-off to do with the hotels and that. So I'll be doing a review on the video on that. And I've got a stream tomorrow, which usually is about 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock-ish time, sort of UK, which is about 5 or 6, sort of like Central and Eastern sort of thing. And Twitter account at 27A Pedersen.
Jens, thank you for being here, buddy.
Oh, cheers. Well, I was on. Yeah, great talking to you and Stig and that. We have great conversations and that about films and.
Well, I mean, that's the thing when we have these open forum, anybody can come in and talk about whatever they want. And I know sometimes it's not always everybody's cup of tea what we get into, but sometimes that's just where the conversations go. Like, I don't care if you're having a conversation on YouTube or you're having a conversation with a friend. Sometimes that conversation doesn't always go exactly where you're kind of hoping it's going to go, but you got to be willing to be able to have those conversations anyway. And I'm not going to shy away from any conversation that the people on my panel want to have. So it is what it is. And if you don't like the conversation, you don't like the conversation. It's just going to happen. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope they have an awesome night. If you have time, and if you still go and stop by and give Draven, give our vampire boy a little bit of love as he's doing some wrestling over there on his channel. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent, and we will catch you next time. Later, guys. All right.
Forget the distribution spent. Assimilated, but you don't know yet. Attacking us is not very wise. Our army's growing if we see through your lies. What we are looking at, good and evil, right and wrong. It's a big world order. A big world order. A big world order. A big world order. Somebody's going to wind up getting their toes nibbled off in here. A big world order. 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 Better hide your toes as we're coming for. A big world order. A big world order. A big world order.